Hello there. My name is Ilaria and I'm the founder of Sobriety Coaching. I practice where I support people to live and love an alcohol-free life. Today is the 8th of April 2020, and at the moment we are in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic, unfortunately, and we are required to stay at home to keep ourselves and other people safe. I have decided to make this video because a few days ago I spotted a comment on Facebook by somebody who said that this time of isolation was the worst time ever to stop drinking. So I started thinking about it, and as I always strive to look for the positive in any situation, I came to the realization that this could actually be the opposite, and that maybe this could actually be the best time to tread the waters of sobriety. I remember very well when I decided to quit drinking the second time around, and when the decision was taken, and I had decided that there would be no turning back for me then. I made a mistake from which I learned a lot from. I think it was a few days afterwards, certainly less than a week since I had stopped drinking, and my husband and I bumped into a friend of ours who invited us to tag along with him and his friends and to a wine and beer shop where people could also sit down and drink with their friends. So my husband looked at me to gauge whether I was okay with it, and we decided to go. So I told his friend and his wife that I had decided to quit, and they understood and they were very, very supportive, and that was fantastic. What was less than fantastic was the fact that I was still surrounded by their friends and by people who were drinking, and they were drinking beer, wine, and they were eulogizing about beer as well. And I was the only one with the kids drinking lemonade. And that now makes me chuckle. And it also, I feel warmed when I think to me back then, because I wanted to be so strong and resolute, and but I was feeling instead really fragile and uncomfortable with the whole situation. So what I learned was that at the time, for me, it was too early to do that. I know that there are people who will never, even after years of being sober, partake to that and would not go to a pub with friends or colleagues. And that is completely fine. I completely understand where they're coming from. But I never wanted to do that because I've always wanted to keep socializing regardless of the venue. And I can easily do that now, but it was too soon for me to be doing that then. So the lesson I learned was that I would have needed more time of being alcohol free under my belt before being comfortable being around people who were drinking alcohol around me. So what I did was actually self-isolating and distancing myself from people for a while until I was comfortable again to be with them as I was before, but this time with an alcohol-free beer in my hand. Um, the upside of this social distancing and self-isolation is the fact that you really have the chance here to get used to being sober by yourself without having to face the rest of society until the time comes. You don't even have to make an effort or make an excuse not to go out drinking with your friends. Nobody will be inviting you to a dinner party or to go out on a Saturday night or to after work Friday drinks with with your colleagues. Um, so all of that is automatically taken away from you. without you having to make any excuses. And for example, if you have a video call like some people have, where with their friends who are drinking, they wouldn't even know if what you're holding in your hand is an alcoholic wine or an alcohol-free wine, or um, a, an alcohol-free beer. So all the external triggers are gone, and that is half the battle. I appreciate that the internal triggers are still going to be there, and those are challenges that you will need to go through and work through with self-help, or by joining online groups, or with the help of a sobriety coach. Another thing that we can put a positive spin on in all this crisis is the fact that it's not as easy to go to supermarkets anymore, and people are being recommended to go grocery shopping only once a week. So my suggestion would be that if you have decided to be sober during this time, go to the supermarket after having a good lunch. Because with your belly full, it's going to be less likely that you're going to want to drink, and you will feel stronger to avoid the drinks section. So go straight to the alcohol-free section and get some drinks that you like. You might find that in the early days of your sobriety, you will crave sugary drinks, and that is fine, because the main thing at the moment for you is to get off the alcohol and to stay off the alcohol. You can deal with your sugar intake once your relationship with sobriety has become more stable. So having obstacles to moving freely in this case can be a positive factor in your situation. My second suggestion would be to stay away from off licenses. Make a promise to yourself and stick to it. Make a rule that if you go out once a day, if the regulations of your country allow you to do so, do it for your physical and mental health only. These are my reflections on the current situations and what we can do in our power to change our perspective on it to our advantage and turn this into an opportunity. One last thought that I want to leave you with is that when you are in a difficult situation, like the one that we're living in at the moment, rather than focusing on the things that are wrong with it and that you cannot change anyway, you can ask yourselves a different question. What can I do about this to make it work for myself? One important disclaimer, if you are physically dependent on alcohol, please contact your local drugs and alcohol service or your GP. Stopping drinking abruptly when your body is dependent on alcohol can be very dangerous. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video, and I hope you found it useful. Take care and stay safe. Bye bye!